What's up, my melanated ones? Thank you for tuning in to Kiss by the Sun. This is your girl, Shelly. On today's video, I'm going to be talking about B. Simone. I happen to love B. Simone. I recently did a video on her. I will have that linked in the description. Today's video, I'm talking about B. Simone, and she had an interview with Nick Cannon. In case you guys don't know, B. Simone is single and she's celibate and she's wanting to be married. So Nick Cannon wants to put her on like a double date, like a blind date kind of thing. I'll have that link to that video in the description as well. Nick Cannon, he happened to ask her a question, like, what are you looking for? So she happened to say that she doesn't want to date anyone who has a 9-to-5. I truly believe that you can have whatever that you ask for from the universe. However, I also feel that you shouldn't put certain restrictions on things that you don't want. And the reason why I say this, not everyone enjoys being an entrepreneur. Some people enjoy being told what to do. They thrive off of knowing, if I do this, this is going to get me to point A, B, and C, whatever. They enjoy the 9-to-5. But with her saying she doesn't want to date anyone with a 9-to-5, it's kind of putting some silly restrictions, in my opinion, okay? So I want to tell you guys a personal story about myself. So before I met my husband, I manifested him. I had a whole list of things that I did not want in a relationship. However, my manifestation, I was doing it wrong. Instead of me focusing on the positive, I had a lot of negative things that I did not want. So I wasn't giving the universe the opportunity to really give me what I did want. So I showed this list to my friend. And on my list, I said that I did not want to date anyone who has a child, and I didn't want to be in a relationship with anyone who was previously married. I showed this list to my friend. My friend told me, your list is ridiculous. Like, why do you have this on there? You need to focus more on the positive. Dating someone with a child is kind of like the blueprint to tell you how this person will potentially be if you do have a child. How do you know the person who's been previously married doesn't want to get married again? They might want to get married again. So the person that was previously married, don't scratch them off the list, because the fact that they've been previously married, they now know what they would want in a relationship before they get into a relationship with you. So I thought that was a valid point. So I took those two things off of my list and I started focusing more on the positive. The things that I would focus on is I wanted a provider, I wanted a protector, a family man, a best friend, someone that I could truly grow with. So the two things that I had on my list that I previously thought were negative turned out to be a positive. I was able to see how my husband interacts with his son. I was able to see that his son truly loves him and he doesn't even have to buy him his love. Like, he truly wants to be in a relationship with them. They're constantly building their relationship together. So I love that. So I'm glad that I took that off of my list. Another thing, my husband, he was previously married, but he knew he wanted before he got into a relationship with me. So it was easier for him to see what he truly wanted, and it helped our relationship. So my advice to you as well is be Simone. Don't focus on too much of what you don't want. Focus more on what it is that you want. Constantly focus on the positive things. So with her not wanting someone with a 9-to-5, she could possibly miss out on her blessing. Let me tell you why. Because B. Simone is an entrepreneur. She said in the interview that she doesn't want to date anyone with a 9-to-5 because they won't understand why she's up at 3 o'clock. But you have to think about it like this. If she's dating an entrepreneur, with herself being an entrepreneur, and B. Simone, she's a comedian. So whenever the world opens back up after we're done with our quarantine, she may have to start traveling again. So let's say she has to travel and come to Seattle, which I hope she does come to Seattle. Let's say she comes to Seattle, then the next day she has to go to Georgia, and then she has to go to Texas. Let's say she's dating someone who's an entrepreneur as well. Let's say the time that she's in Seattle, he has to be in California. And then the next day he is in Washington, D.C. And then he has to go back to Arkansas. So they're going to constantly be traveling and they possibly will never have time for each other. So instead of her focusing on saying, I don't want anyone who has a 9-to-5, focus more on saying, I want someone who can make time for me. I want someone who is wealthy. I want someone who is financially stable. I want someone who wants a family. I want someone who wants to be married. Focus more on the positive, because if you eliminate the things like saying, I don't want anyone who's dating a 9 or who has a 9-to-5, you could miss out on your blessing. Another thing I want to tell you guys is I happen to know someone who has a 9-to-5 job and they love it. They don't have to go to their 9 to 5. They go there because they want to. They go to their 9 to 5 because it helps them with social interactions. If they were to quit or retire or whatever it may be, they would be at home by themselves with no one to talk to. So going to their 9 to 5 gives them bliss. They don't have to go there. They have enough money to retire and do whatever they want, but they go to their 9 to 5 because that's their sense of purpose. That's their drive. So focus more on saying, I want someone who will make time for me. I want someone who really enjoys their career. They know what their dreams and their aspirations are, and they're truly pursuing them. So focus more on the positive. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Get into the comments and let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll check you guys on the next video. All right, y'all.